The Isle of Man is a small island positioned between Britain and Ireland. Internationally, the Isle of Man is known for the TT motorcycle races, but the biggest part of the gross national income comes from insurance and online gambling. Daniel Keller is the Chief Technology Officer of the CasinoCoin project. For the project, he is moving to the Isle of Man. But why?
It's the best place to be for what we're doing. We're required to have 2 on-island directors. That's a requirement which we need to meet. And if we want to continue the way we're currently working, it's necessary. So in order for the project, for the community, for the people, we're going to move.
The first CasinoCoin was mined many years ago. This is where our story begins.
2013, I started searching what other coins aside from Bitcoin could be interesting. And when I saw the name CasinoCoin, I thought, okay, that's interesting marketing-wise. And I started joining the project on Bitcoin Talk and started mining CasinoCoin. Yeah, then in 2013, suddenly the main dev sort of disappeared. So that's how I became already the lead dev in 2013. It stayed a pretty technical project all those years. Daniel was brought on the new team in 2017 pretty soon.
And in 2017, I started to do some work on it, due diligence, what we can do. Back then it was the Litecoin fork. And that was the time when the plans formed around building the foundation.
When we analyzed the technologies available at that point in time, it was pretty obvious that the XRP tech would fit us best.
We forked XRP, which was a learning process. We developed a lot of our own solutions.
It's 2 different ecosystems targeted at different industries.
So I was setting up the network, I was working with Andre, kickstarting the ledger, learning about how this works, figuring out when the ledger would fail, all that stuff. So that was quite intriguing because the system is fundamentally different from Bitcoin. And that was quite a challenge, and I really loved that.
Casinos became interested in CasinoCoin. New teams were formed, roadmaps were made, and the marketing machine started rolling.
CasinoCoin.
Today we're going to talk about CasinoCoin.
CasinoCoin. And the reason I want to make it is because somebody commented and I should pay better
But in
attention.
2020, all faded, and the CasinoCoin Foundation ran out of money.
The worst moment obviously was last year when, after 3 years of hard work, it all seemed to stop and come to an end, and it was very difficult.
In December, I was like, this is a nightmare. And there have been a lot of conversations or Zoom calls where Matt and I were just looking into the camera, and we're like, yeah, it's bad. What are we gonna do? So I'm glad it's over. And I mean, if you think about what happened in 2020 with COVID and all that stuff, and if you look back and you leave this out, technically it was a good year. Because it did set the stage for what we experience right now. We were thinking about what could be done in order to save the project. And the first idea was, well, we're gonna do our own blockchain again. We're gonna do CoinSwap. We're gonna give it a different name because we had all those struggles with like the brands and the legal problems and all that. And I didn't want to deal with this. So I said to Matt, who's my business partner, let's just do our own thing. We don't need this. We can redo this from scratch, get rid of all the mistakes and do this correct. But I also had a couple of conversations with Wietse.
A lot of things came together, and we so the CasinoCoin team and some other XRPL geeks and myself started to have a discussion about the XRPL and whether you should maintain a fork or run your own infra and why you would even do that. And bit by bit, it became very clear that it just made total sense to move the entire project to the XRP Ledger, because a lot of things that otherwise would have taken a lot of time and effort were already in place.
There are some difficulties in keeping infrastructure running, and we always had like that nightmare scenario where we one day would wake up and we saw Ledger 1 again and lost the blockchain. So I said then to Daniel, if we don't want to have those infrastructure worries anymore, a big move would be to go to the XRPL.
And it took quite a while till we had a certain direction, which came after the last announcement where we said, we're going to move away, we're going to do our own stuff, CasinoCoin is dead. Then a couple of people came forward finally. And then a new plan was laid out, a couple of more conversations with Wietse and some other people, and here we are.
I think it went pretty smooth. It helped that I already did a swap in the past, so I sort of knew what kind of things would come into play.
We tested everything. Everything was working fine. The day we kicked it off, we had some issues when it came to moving funds around. The automatism broke, and we couldn't process KYC and payments for, I think, 24 hours, even 48 hours. Up to 72. It was a nightmare.
I think that the biggest challenge was to get the entire flow right for every possible exception that comes with a lot of users using software. So, for example, users would import the wrong account, or they would use their existing XRPL account to start a swap while it was actually about the CasinoCoin account that had to be migrated.
And we were so far behind that we had to do like 500 to 1,000 KYCs a day.
People who would use their CasinoCoin account with just a couple of casino coins, then start a swap and then deposit their CasinoCoin from an exchange later onto that account while we already performed the balance check.
You check the KYC, which means you're looking at a picture, you're looking at a passport, or an ID, or a driver license. You need to make sure it's the person from the screenshot.
We even had a couple of users who started the swap on one phone, then bought a new phone because they wanted a new phone, Android iPhone, then imported their accounts again, and then tried to continue their existing swap.
Then you click on the approve button. The next person goes in and does the collection swap or the collection payment. That's how we call it. He needs to scan the QR code via Zoom.
And eventually, I think we covered all those cases, so it worked for the end users, but it took us quite some support tickets to get it right.
Even if you're really, really fast, at least 2 to 2.5 minutes per person. And you're scanning QR codes all the time. And the Zoom integration is awesome, but I scanned like 10,000 QR codes. So, all a painful process.
Pain, suffering.
So there was some pain and suffering, but what about the benefits?
I think for the CasinoCoin team, there's the huge advantage of no longer having to maintain their own fork and infrastructure. I think it also makes it a lot easier for them in the future to get listed on exchanges, because there's already an implementation with the XRP Ledger on any exchange I can think of. And then supporting an issued currency on that same ledger is a lot easier than implementing yet another ledger.
XRP for retail transactions as a direct integration works fine. I can imagine you going to the gas station, you walk in, you get a QR code, you take your Zoom wallet out, you scan the QR code, 3 seconds later, transaction paid, and it's not a layer 2 solution, right? I'm not a big fan of layer 2 solutions. I know a lot of them work, but I mean, you can argue about that, but I think XRP is the best choice.
With us on the XRPL, we can add an entire different industry to as a use case to the XRPL, because the casino industry worldwide, they're regulated, so the legal official casino industry worldwide is incredibly big.
And I think for us, XRPL Labs, and for some application, it's really nice to have a broader audience that uses the application not only for managing their XRPL accounts, but also managing their other tokens on the XRPL. I think it's a great showcase actually to the entire world that the XRPL is not, the XRP Ledger is not just the ledger where XRP lives.
Honestly, one of the best coded projects I've ever seen in my life. It's extremely well organized, documented, and extremely well coded.
But to show that tokens can be issued there with a fixed supply, that they can be traded on the decentralized exchange, and that you can conveniently manage them with the existing tools.
Let's talk about working together, starting with Daniel.
He's always straight to the point, so if he says A, he means A, and he doesn't have a hidden agenda.
It's amazing to work with Daniel. He knows exactly what he wants. He is a very nice guy, and he's also really relaxed and flexible when it comes to making decisions. He's fast in making decisions. XRPL Labs is exactly the same.
So every time we say there's a problem and we need this, he's always like, oh yeah, not a problem. We're just like, I'm not exactly the same. I would probably just start screaming at you because it's a stupid question. And then I'll think about it. We're just always like, oh yeah, no problem.
We can think of something and build it the next hour. And if we have to make a decision to take the project to the next level, then, we just gather around a keyboard.
If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And you can rely on that.
That made it really easy to just go from an idea to an actual migration to the XRPL involving everything we needed to make it easier for the users to actually migrate.
And what would you call the guys at XRPL Labs?
Code magicians.
There's one thing I need to add about Wietse. He really needs to learn how to say no.
We need to integrate the casinos so a user with 2 or 3 clicks can sign up to a casino and do a deposit with 1 click. That's the idea.
It's great. You will save a lot of money. The casino will save a lot of money. You will save a lot of time, a lot of hassle. In an ideal world, everyone does a full integration, and you don't have to waste your time with signing up.
You like Zam?
Definitely yes.
Lego as in?
You want to talk Lego, Daniel?
Yes. There's always an easy solution if something goes wrong in Lego. And there's no one to scream at. So what I like about Lego is I can do this on my own and I don't have to talk to anyone. I think it was 2 years ago, I figured there is Star Wars Lego, and then I started to buy sets whenever I had some money over. I built maybe 10% of them, so I have a lot of box sets which are waiting to be built, and I need a bigger office. Well, it's 10/22/1, which is the Superstar Destroyer. It's pretty old. You can get it on Amazon, brand new, for like, I think, 1,300 euro. I really love that one.
And from Star Wars, Superstar Destroyers and X-Wings, it's a small step to XApps.
XApps are basically the glue between the businesses in the XRPL ecosystem and the end users.
Well, XApps are really great for a lot of reasons. One reason is the basic framework of the Zoom wallet is great. Everything you need there from a wallet perspective already exists. You don't have to bother with this. You just need to understand how it works. Then you're good.
The end users can use their existing wallet interface they trust, and they can trust our security while doing business with someone or a exchange or business they don't even know, because they can trust that some will show a dialogue confirming what they're about to sign.
It's an app in an app, which cuts down the time of deployment. Right? You just do a change, you roll it out, Job done, it's there.
Just building something cool, we'll review it, and if it's an XApp, it's immediately available to the entire ecosystems.
We're building some stuff already, so yeah, there are going to be some surprises in the future, I'm pretty sure. If it's becoming a success, it's going to be because of the big efforts Daniel and Matthew are putting into this.
This is a real world, real adoption project. It doesn't have the pace like other projects for obvious reasons, but we're trying our best. And I think 21 has shown that we are on the right track, and this will work out.
Enjoy the ride.